From John Palovitz. Republicans are terrified of American voters. They should be. These Republicans are telling you something right now, America. If you listen carefully, you can hear them. With every panicked and quivering move, they're clearly testifying. They're confirming how frightened they are right now. There is no other logical conclusion to be reached. There is only one reason they call down polling sites for thousands of people to only one. It's the same reason they condemn voting by mail after repeatedly voting by mail. It's the same reason they continually gerrymandering themselves a more favorable playing field. The same reason they oppose paper ballots and absentee votes. The same reason they remove active voters from the rolls. The same reason they continue to attempt sleight of hand legislation to sneak in more restrictive voter ID laws. The reason they do all of these things is that they're mortally terrified of American voters. We are their outstanding obstacle to unabated rule. We are the single remaining line of defense democracy has left. We, the people, are the last gasp breath of a dying republic being slowly suffocated beneath the weight of institutionalized racism and disdain for the poor and contempt for the diversity. These leaders don't want Americans to speak. They know that if the voices of the people are heeded, they will in one glorious sprawling clarion call declare them fraudulent and malignant, unequivocally undeserving of stewardship, and standing this nation a single day longer. And they know that if they lose their current tenuous stranglehold on this nation, they will likely never get it back, as the swift current and changing demographics will soon swallow them, taking with them the unearned spoils of privilege that once seemed permanent. They know that this could well be their last moment of unmolested barbarism, and so like concerned, wounded animals, they are frantically and failing and unpredictably violent in saving themselves. Which is why we need to show up here and now in numbers that can't be manipulated into a show of strength and resolve that is simply unalterable in a moment so immune from pollution that we will be undeniable. What we need to do is throw aside our petty semantic squabbles and our minor skirmishes and prevent our lesser bowel purity politics and litmus test deal breakers, because these things only dilute the full potency of our collective process. And that is what the fearful people want. They want us to not only have to overcome their malfeasance, but our fatigue and ego and empathy as well. Because that is the great truth of these days, and they know it. That despite every jittery, panicked attempt to stack the deck and tip the odds, despite every clandestine legislative maneuver, despite Donald Trump's unapologetic efforts at perverting our system of government, we still have the numbers. And we can still save this flawed but promising experiment in liberty and find out what it might be capable of in the full expanse of humanity was welcomed at the table for the first time. We can see if the old parchment promises can still yield a new promised land of equality for everyone, without caveat or condition, if it has still have enough life and liberty and happiness for all of us to have a full helping. I think it would be something beautiful to behold. I think it might alter the history of the planet. I think it is worth whatever is required between now and 2022 and 2024 to see it. Friends, this isn't about defeating people who have voted and normally would vote Republican. They are not the enemy. This is about defeating these Republicans who have no love for America or conservatism or God or Jesus, who are historically corrupt and uniquely parasitic, and who have threatened the good people of every distinction. I firmly believe that decent and desperate people of every political leaning, religious tradition, and value system can navigate those real and profound differences if we create a space where that is sincere in the desire and honest objective. I also believe that this can't happen with a man and his party and with those particular leaders in power, and it's as simple as that. Yes, these Republicans are fully terrified of us, America. Let's make them right to be afraid. Let this year and the next, and all the way to 2022's midterms and 2024's presidential election, be their worst nightmare. Then we can find the American dream. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left. Justice to the right.